Okay, today we're playing a game on King's Row. We were in the Gold SR range, and we will be playing about a third of the game as Tracer and about 2/3 of the game as McCree. There is also a wee tiny bit of Farah in there, but not much, not worth talking about really. To be honest, I barely included Tracer. There's just enough Tracer in here that I felt like she had to be included. So what we're about to learn is the enemy team is quite hard to get a lot of work done against as Tracer, because there's a lot of hard to kill people over here. So here's where the greed starts on this upcoming part, right? So we're missing almost half our health, and our plan isn't just like, go heal, it's like, squat here, and like, I don't know, just kind of hope nobody comes this way, I guess. Reaper's already coming this way. We wait a while to leave, recall, alright, we didn't really recover much health still, and then that was already greedy, and then we double down on that greed and go for the sleeping Reaper, whose head isn't even on this side of us, right? Like, we're not gonna get that guy by shooting him in his toes while his whole team is coming up behind him. So that's just, like, pure greed for the first, like, 30 seconds of that round. And, yeah, we got wiped pretty resoundingly right there. Now, are we the sole reason our team got wiped? No, of course not, but we certainly didn't help much in that regard. So we're coming back around here. Reaper's teleporting up there. Hopefully we saw that. We didn't really seem to acknowledge it much. Alright, we're going after the Moira. And then Winston jumps back on us and we're like, alright, I guess I'll get out of here. It's gonna be really hard to kill people on that team versus this team as Tracer. Moira's kind of low right now, but we didn't know, it looks like. Ah, they're all leaving. Amazing. So we're contributing extremely little to our team right now. Because while we're doing this, just like waiting for somebody to appear so that we can fight them, our team got killed behind us. And then when somebody does arrive, we immediately get spotted. So we spent like 30 seconds up there letting our team die behind us while we waited, and then it amounted to absolutely nothing. Not even getting any ult charge out of it. So we're still doing it, we're still up to no good, you know, maybe it'll work this time. It's, you know, something definition of madness. Nope. Anna's fully onto us, so this didn't work. We've immediately had to use recall before we do any kind of engagement. Like, here's like one of the most damning thing about how we've played this round so far. Tracer's ult charge is extremely fast. Tracer has one of the fastest charging ults in the game, and we have still not gotten our first ultimate, and they're about to capture the second checkpoint. This is a very long period of time we haven't been contributing too much to the round. So we're finally in there fighting again. Managed to build up Pulse Bomb. Got the Winston, and, you know, it starts falling apart rather quickly, though. By this point, we've already, like, conceded so much ground that this is not really... It's already pretty too far gone for that point already. So now we've changed to McCree. McCree's better for this, versus this kind of team. I would have probably gone with Reaper, to be honest, but McCree, like, you know, you can fight the divers and the flankers. Better for trying to kill Mei. We got Mei right there, for example. I would probably go for Reaper personally, though, but, you know, McCree's also fine. And so, immediately, we've already contributed way more. Look, so much more has already been brought playing McCree. We've clicked on those bad men real good now. The problem with this, so, like, the problem with, like, what we did as Tracer, we just spent so long, like, camped out waiting and, like, not actively contributing to anything, right? Like, it's not inherently an issue if you spend some time sat behind the enemy team, like, waiting for an opportunity to arise. We just sat waiting for, like, a solid minute as Tracer, not actively trying to make any kind of plays happen. Just purely sat waiting for something to happen. This is not a way to get reliable results. You have to be, like, actively trying to create an opportunity for a play. You can't just sit and wait for something to happen, which is what we spent that entire time doing. And, you know, it was going to be hard to do versus that team, sure, but, like, the way we played it, it was never going to breed too many results. So things have started going downhill, and we're immediately back into the flanking. Now, we have almost got Deadeye, so that's cool. We've got Deadeye now. Yo, what a greedy boy! Oh my god! Just shoot him! Like, okay, like this all, like, to be honest, couldn't have gone better. This is like absolutely fantastic result. Like, kill him. You know, like, you haven't got a lot of time on this one. Pure greed. Pure greed. Greed, pure greed. Now I'm a greedy boy, to be sure, you know, but goddamn, there's been a lot of greed this round so far. So, come back out. Here comes Doomfist. Alright, he missed, but we also missed. We'll call it a draw. It's not looking too good right now. We rolled right into him. The plan was probably roll past him, but by that point, the critical mistake had already been made, which was missing the flashbang. You know, that's the linchpin play in there. So anyway, we get back out again. We've almost got the Moira. Almost got it. You know, it's already pretty far gone by that point. You know, like, Anna disappeared into the scuffle of men, but, like, by that point, it was pretty far gone already, to be fair. So, already got shot by the dwarf. Well, that's a bad start. Dwarf immediately got us. It's an interesting place on the turret. Okay, it didn't really do too much, though. Alright, yeah. Rolling through the doorway, you know, depending on what was over here, might have been bad, but we didn't get punished for that one. If you don't get punished, you don't have to learn. So I would have preferred to wait on that one, on that flashbang, because... Come on, get back up there. 20 seconds is so long. Because my man, when this happens, is still pretty healthy. And Toes' stun, it's not very long. So I would rather wait for him to get back up, because he's gonna hold his shield up if he's sensible, right? If he doesn't hold his shield up, whatever, he dies regardless. He's gonna get up, he's gonna hold his shield up. That's gonna make it harder to kill him, because we haven't really got a team that's just gonna, like, push through his shield and kill him that quickly. So I would prefer to wait here rather than just throwing the flashbang at it, because the thing is as well, like, doing that, he was already still stunned from Toes' CC, which isn't long, but that's just, like, we just overlap our stuns when you want to chain them together. So the better play is, like, shoot him while he's stunned, wait for him to come out of the stun him again, shoot him again. Rather than just, like, we just double down on CCing him at the same time, which is wasting time on the flashbang. And if he, like, gets up and doesn't hold his shield up or whatever, I guess we don't even need to stun the guy, right? Because he clearly doesn't want to live to begin with. So we decided to shoot at the shield, the turret there, when Anna was, like, pretty in the open, it looked like. Right? Like, that's who we decided to shoot at right there. Yeah, like, we even just hit Anna. And we just hit Anna, so we see that she's half health right now. And then we start shooting the turret instead. Yo, Anna's out in the middle. She's got so far to go to get to cover, and we know she's half health. We just decided to start shooting Torbjorn's turret instead. Like, killing Anna is way better than breaking Torbjorn's turret. This is not a great time to use Deadeye, because most of their team had shuffled behind the corner, but their Reinhardt was still pretty out there, so we got him regardless, walked over to the lava. I wouldn't have used Deadeye right there, because we got Reinhardt, so that's great, but, like, I was surprised we got anybody with that one, because they'd all shuffled behind the corner, but Reinhardt, fortunately, did bad. You know, Reinhardt players, and this is a fairly reliable thing to depend on, to be fair. Reinhardt players do bad quite frequently. Alright, we got him. Here, we can't now stun this guy, so that's unfortunate, and... Oh, we lived anyway! Hooray! The flashbanging the soldier was... Wow, we got Moira. She fucking faded right in front of us. Unfortunate. Flashbanging the soldier was fine, but then that led us to the unfortunate situation of, well, now Hammond's coming for me, and I don't have my flashbang, but we got him anyway, so great. Flashbang soldier was fine, though. So, we managed to capture the first point. We feel good, because we just killed everybody, even though, Moira feels real bad about that one. Moira is definitely going to be upset about that one. We didn't even, like, really see her. That's how quickly she died. So we have got Deadeye built up. That's exciting. It's pretty hard to get a lot of kills with Deadeye on King's Row, usually, unless they, looks like we lost track of where Hammond was right there when we threw that flashbang. As a classic, get up, fan hammer. Oh, fuck, I only had one bullet loaded. Shit. That went pretty well. Like, you know, we just got earth-shattered after the minefield was dropped on us. That went a lot better than it had any right to, didn't it? Like, no one died, actually. Incredible. And we didn't die, which is the important thing as far as I'm concerned. We didn't die. So, anyway. Hammond's dead. There, McCree's behind us. It's kind of, like, not worth worrying about too much. Because, like, if we walk around the corner, McCree can't hit us anymore, you know? We're pretty concerned about it still, it looks like. You can see Roadhogs over there after him, so we don't need to worry about it. I mean, Soldier's fucking dead. I wasn't too excited to use Deadeye right there, but I mean, to be fair, like, on King's Row, Deadeye usually doesn't get that much value. Well, that clearly didn't go very well for him, did it? He didn't die, though, so good job, I guess. Oh, he's still doing it! We're clearly looking for him right now. Like, I know he's around here. Fuck, you know, like, that was the real definition of madness. My man just failed the Deadeye flank and then came back again like, yo, but what if the second time, right? Oh, shit, I just got hooked and killed. What a surprise. We did take a very surprising amount of damage right there, but we also went too far up, because Toes' barrier just broke in front of us. That's it, like, that's our only shield. And we, like, walk in front of him, even, so suddenly we're the front line as McCree, and we don't want to do that. We just stand back and use the corner as cover and use the payload as cover. There was no need to go as far forward as we did. So, team is starting to stall out now. This is a terrible place to stall out. Having to push through the streets on King's Row without the payload is terrible. Like, that's one of the worst places you can stall out. Right at the end of the second checkpoint, so your walk back is massive, and you need to do this trench run without the payload suddenly. It's a terrible place to stall out. It's also really easy to snowball through at the same time, so, you know, that's also nice. We are so far forward right now. We don't want to be, like, the front line as McCree, which is pretty much what we're going for. We were, like, right next to Toes that time, at least instead of, like, fully in front of him, but, like, we don't need to be that far forward still. So, didn't manage to stun her. She had used bubble, very sad, you know, unfortunate. Oh, God. We deserved to die for that roll, but we didn't die. And if you don't get punished, you don't have to learn. That's what I always say. Ooh, okay, you know. This is getting very scary very quickly. Okay, great, awesome. Thank goodness Zarya came in here purely by herself in the line of sight of herself from her healers. Again, we are at the front line currently, as McCree. Not recommended. Basically just bullying Reinhardt with Deadeye right now. Didn't work. It didn't kill him, but it did work in bullying him. It didn't kill him, though. He died shortly thereafter, though. Who's back here? Oh, it's Baptiste. Right, I saw him up on the high ground and he never came down. Don't do that. I've played Zarya. See how far, like, out into nowhere she went? Just like, oh, I'm gonna go stand on the other side of the street with no shield in front of me just by myself. Oh, I got hooked and died. Who could have seen that coming? Yeah, it's... Tank players, honestly, have, like, the worst positioning out of all players, to be honest with you. Like, people like to shit-talk DPS players a lot, right? Because, you know, it's very funny. Their Genji is behind 3 walls spamming I need healing, right? Very funny, very hilarious, you know. But tank players are actually, like, the worst people in terms of positioning in the entire game, because they think they don't have to worry about it, right? Like, they think that the only people that have to worry about positioning are the squishy people, because they're the people that are going to die if they get caught out in the open. Tank players are exactly the same. Like, there's no reason that you won't die if you're out in the open and get caught, because the only thing you've got is you've got a buffer of having, like, 200 more health than the other guy, right? If you're Zarya, you only got 400 health. You're not that tanky, especially once your bubble's down, right? Like, you're relying on other things to save you. Like, tank players do this thing where they don't worry about standing in cover. So they just stand out in the middle of the street. How many times have you seen a fucking Reinhardt player just, like, stood out in the middle of fucking nowhere, like the middle of the fucking rock garden on a mirror or something? Like, I don't have to worry about cover. I'm the tank. I provide cover. And then his shield breaks, and suddenly he's, like, in the middle of nowhere, 5 miles away from cover, and he's just getting shot, because he's got nothing at that point except 300 more health than a squishy person. Which, in a game like Overwatch, isn't that much health if you start getting focused, which you're going to get focused if you're in a bad position as a tank, because there is no more obvious person when they're out of position, is there? If you're playing fucking Roadhog and you're out of position, you stand out like a sore fucking thumb. I fucking hate tank players because they just like, nope, don't have to worry about cover, I'm the cover. So they do that kind of shit where they're like, they're up there, I'll go and stand over on this side and shoot at them. This pipe will protect me. And then, oh fuck, I'm in trouble. Oh, I have to go all the way over here. And oh shit, I got hooked and a headshot because I'm a giant fucking hitbox. Every player's got, like, every kind of player has, like, the stupid thing they do I hate, right? Like, Lucio players I hate because they have no self-control, so they just, like, roll in, boop people everywhere, save people half the time. Mercy players fly into the middle of 6 men, like, oh, I might as well try it, my res is off cooldown, I'll just res and see if it works. And then they res Roadhog in the middle of 5 people, he dies again anyway and feeds 900 more health because he's going to use Take a Breather after he gets up as well. And then I staggered him by 10 seconds, he fed somebody like an entire fucking ultimate, you know, and then tank players are just like, doop dee doop dee doop dee doop, in the middle of the street, thinking they're immortal, and then they lose their barrier or their shield, whatever they have, and then they fucking die, because, oh, turns out 300 health, 300 more health than a squishy person, doesn't really help when your head hitbox is the equivalent of, like, Torbjorn, you know? Winston's head hitbox, I would wager, is a similar size to the entirety of Torbjorn, you know? Anyway, that's the thing I'm going to complain about today. Tank players who are just like, cover's not important for me, I don't have to worry about positioning. We got grabbed and Dragon Blade, you know. You die. Such is life. And, like, the worst part is that positioning is, like, for tank players is probably more important than any other role. But, you know, people who play Overwatch are really stupid. They're really stupid. Still easily the worst community I've ever been a part of, and I played League of Legends for 7 years. Oh, it's a sad day when your community's worse than League of Legends, isn't it? Isn't that a sad day? We did get nano boosted, so I'm not going to be too upset that we continued walking forward. That's the natural instinct when you get nano boosted. Then we got earth shattered, which is unfortunate. But hey, Reinhardt's probably like, how the fuck did we survive? 50% damage reduction is a lot of damage reduction. I really didn't go well for that Doomfist, did it? I did notice us do a thing in there, aiming-wise, on that Zarya, that I don't like. So, try and get it. No, it's further, because this guy hasn't died yet. So, I don't know why, and like, I do this as well. Like, we shot Zarya. Come on. There. And then we aim to the right immediately afterwards. You know, people do that, they get the shot, and then they just flick their gun off in a direction for no reason afterwards, when the correct thing to do is just continue tracking the person, right? But people do, and I mean, I catch myself doing this as well, but it's something that makes no sense to do, because you, like, shoot the boy, and then you go, right? You click him, right? You ever seen people do that? You do that yourself? It's, like, not good for the purposes of hitting somebody multiple times. I don't know what it is, but, like, people do it. I do it as well. It's just a weird thing that doesn't make any sense to do. Flick off the boy. You know, I don't like to talk about aim stuff, but that's, like, a weird thing people do that, like, is not helpful. Anyway, unless you think the guy is going to suddenly teleport off to the side. This is a very brazen use of Deadeye. We didn't die, but it didn't exactly convert into much. That was quite the whip we were going for right there on that Reinhardt charge. Unfortunately, he got stunned away from us, so it didn't work out. It's just right at feet. Alright, so now it's time to attack again. Hey, we're back to the Tracer. Now you can see why I felt like I needed to include Tracer, even though we didn't play her for long at the start. Hey, we played her again right at the end. So, here we go. Creeping around the backside. It is not exactly unreasonable to assume they would pick Bastion in this situation, so I would have probably gone with Pharah or Junkrat. Because, hey, when you got a big time advantage and the other team's only got like a minute, right? People like to pick Bastion in that situation. But it's us that has the Bastion, so, you know, how sad is that? But yeah, that's just how I am. So, that went pretty well, you know. This has gone a lot better this round as Tracer. We took a more proactive approach that time. We ended up killing quite a few people, applied some pressure, good times. Better than the previous round. So, we can just go off. We don't have to wait here. Bastion's going to sit on the payload. We can go off and do whatever. We don't need to sit back here. We don't need to sit on the payload. We're better off going and doing something else right now. Having 3 people on the payload is one of those things people worry about that isn't really that important. Because it doesn't go that much faster, and if you can just... That's unfortunate. If you can just be off winning the fight ahead, it doesn't really matter. Being Tracer and standing on the payload, you don't bring much to that, so you might as well go off and do other things, unless you think that your team is going to C9 or something. But, you know, life is hard sometimes like that. So we didn't get very far. Unfortunate. It's time to play as Pharah. I can't push that again, because we're going to miss like the first 10 seconds of the round, so we'll just have to speed it up. I wish that there was some kind of permeable option to how much the skip button went, because 20 seconds is a big skip time. And I would sometimes like to, quite frequently like to just go back by 5 seconds. But that is harder to do because really, click and drag it back on the timeline is the better way to do that. But, you know, please, a little bit more permeable. So we've decided to play Pharah this time on defense, which is fine. You know, people don't typically think of Pharah as being a good hero for defense, but it doesn't, like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Usually seen as more of an offensive hero, though. It's fine. You know, aim better. That was extremely greedy. To just, like, follow the Mei around the corner like that. And just, like, in full view of the people behind her as well. Like, that was a very greedy chase we went for on that one. We didn't get punished. Don't have to learn. But that was very greedy positioning. Or, not positioning, like, chasing her down was quite greedy. Oh, we got to punch 2 people to death as Pharah back-to-back, though. That's very exciting. How often do you get to punch people to death as Pharah? We should not be going forward like that when we have 47 health. We need to be playing extremely defensively right now and, like, getting health. Anna's clearly still alive behind us because someone got nano-boosted. She can't see us very easily if we're hanging out in the sky. We need to... Oh my god! Relax. Fuck, just about gave me fucking whiplash. It's like in one frame, not like just looking straight down suddenly. That must have looked pretty good. Just like, I'm gonna shoot at the Widowmaker. Widowmaker's looking at, like, Widowmaker just shot at us, right? So let's put that into perspective right now, right? Widow just shot at us. She's very clearly aware of where we are. We shoot Widow, and it's immediately straight down. Widow's already looking at us. Widow isn't about to die from that shot. It's pretty easy for Widow to hit you once you start using Barrage, you know? So that was also very greedy. The moral of the game, the moral of the story today is greed is bad. Even though it feels so right. Greed is frequently very bad, though. But I'm not. I can't judge anyone for this because I'm one of the greediest people alive. But I can still point out that it is wrong to do. Oh no. Okay, all right. You know, it's all good. It's all good. It all worked out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. You know, life is hard. Several things were already going kind of badly. I don't know. I just pushed forward, and it didn't know what to do because the timeline isn't that long, so it actually went back. So yeah. The thing that stood out the most that game was greed. Greed is bad. And like the Tracer round at the start, like this is less greed related. Like there was greed there, but like there's merit to being the patience when you're playing a flanker frequently, but you have to be careful you don't go too far in the opposite direction. Because we spent so long waiting that first round that the entire, like, 2/3 of the round ended before we even started really taking part in that game. And someone like a flanker, like, yeah, sometimes you need patience, but you also need to be, like, proactively trying to create opportunities on the map, not just purely sitting and playing entirely, like, well, I'm gonna wait for them to do something. Flankers are good because they force the enemy team to respond to something, right? Like, if you play it well, you put the enemy team in an unfortunate position where they have to do something they don't really want to do, but they don't have an option because they can't just ignore you at the same time. But if you spend the whole time just, like, waiting out of sight for them to fuck up already, you're, like, missing out on, like, half of the reason that role functions. So you can't do that kind of thing. You gotta try and be proactive. And greed is bad. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I started streaming on Twitch Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.